that a good angle? I'm not sure there's any good angles. So let's just go for it. I will review and adjust for next time if it doesn't work. Hello. My name is Emily. This is my first knitting podcast. Slightly nervous. I am not a talker, so probably shouldn't be doing this, but let's go for it. So yeah, my name's Emily. I am Hiya mate on a lot of things. Instagram, YouTube, other things. And I knit. I'm a graphic designer by trade. That's what I do for my day job. But I do also get paid to knit for brands, made to order pieces. And I've been doing that for a long time now. I've been knitting for about 20 years. That makes me sound really old, but I started in my early teens, so yeah, 20, let's say between 15 and 20 years. Makes me sound a little bit less ancient. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, so graphic designer, knit, get paid to knit things, which is the dream, really, isn't it? I worked as a knitter and graphic designer full-time for about 5 or 6 years at Wool and the Gang. Wool and the Gang, which I think most people watching would know that. Not know that I worked there, know that of Wool and the Gang, which I loved, and then moved on for that, but kept knitting. And I do still knit for Wool and the Gang sometimes, but not as much, obviously. And I now also knit for a few other brands. So the piece I'm working on right now is for the children's brand Wonderline. I have to keep remembering to look at the camera. And I've been working with Andrea, who runs the brand for about 5 or 6, no, not that long, 4 or 5 months now, since before summer, and I'm really enjoying it. I think I probably make around 4 pieces a month for her, and so far they've all been this, which is the Heritage cardigan. I think that's what it's called. I'll double check. And I'll put a picture up. But yeah, it's a good little pocket money maker. And I really appreciate that she works with local-ish knitters. I think they're based in Liverpool and I'm in London, UK, so it's not next door, but it's near. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now, and that is what I'll be working on for most of this month. I have 4 pieces to make this month, or not this month, but within 4 weeks from when I got the yarn. I'm coming up to the end of week 1. And I've made 1 piece already. Haven't sewn it together yet. And this is piece 2. The pieces I make are normally different sizes, but this is my first 4 to 5 year, which looks quite big. 4 to 5 year piece. It's looking nice. It's a really nice design. It's got these little bobbles. And this yarn is actually a woolen gang yarn, which is nice. This is the one Marina. Not gonna focus on that, is it? By Woolen Gang. And I actually really like this yarn. It is superwash, so it is I don't know how to describe superwash, but you guys probably know. It feels not woolly, obviously, because that's they treat it so that it's washable, but I don't think I'd ever make something for me in it, but obviously for children's wear it's perfect. And if you are the kind of person who wants to just be able to kind of throw your knits in the washing machine or not have to be so precious, then it's obviously really good. And I just really like the squishiness of this one. I think the needle size, the gauge, works really well with this yarn. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now. As soon as it's my first podcast episode, I'm not going to have any finished objects, I don't think. But I have an ungodly amount of works in progress. Literally, like, I mean, I might not even talk about 50% of them. But I'll show a couple because I very much like a couple of them that I'm working on now. But yeah, as I said, I'm not a talker. This is my first episode, so I would really appreciate any feedback that you guys can give me. I mostly wanted to start this because so in the UK we had a really, really hot, well, in London we had a really hot summer, and I hate summer. I don't know what it is, I'm just awful in hot weather. I have to either just sit still and do absolutely nothing, or I am just the biggest grump in the world, and so sweaty, so sticky, like, I just hate it. As soon as September hit, the temperature just plummeted. Actually it's gone back up since then. It was 22 degrees in London yesterday, which is just insane. But as soon as September hit, I was like, I am knitting. Actually had like a bit of a sewing obsession this year, which is good, but I feel like I'm just so used to knitting because I've been doing it for so long. With sewing, I don't know if anyone else gets this, but I just want to instantly be good at other things, handicrafts, I guess. And with sewing, I'm not bad. Like, I've made a lot of wearable garments, but I think I just don't have the patience or like the want to be perfect at it. Whereas with knitting, because I've been doing it for so long, I don't really have to try. I know that sounds really boastful, but I don't really have to try that hard, and I can make really beautiful things. So I've kind of stepped away from sewing a little bit. And also for me, like, I've been so busy the past few months. Sewing, I feel like, because we live in such a tiny flat, it has to be like a full thing to do it. Whereas with knitting, you can just sit down and pick up a ball of wool and go. So I've really appreciated the fact that it's now autumn and not 30 degrees, and I can knit comfortably again, which is really nice. All that to say, it really inspired me again. Haven't knit for myself in a really long time, and the past month or so I've just been really like up for making myself things, which is nice. So maybe I'll show you a couple of things. I say that I'm making myself things. There's one thing I'm making for myself, and everything else is baby stuff. Because all of the people I know are having babies. Which is nice. I like knitting baby stuff. It's fast and cute. And I really feel like a really special knitted handmade baby piece is so precious. I don't think I'm ever going to have babies, but if I did, then I would very much appreciate hand knit pieces. I've just realised I haven't looked at the camera in like 20 minutes? No. I just realised I haven't looked in the camera in a very long time. I'm sorry. Also slowly slouching down as I knit. I really like having my elbow on something when I knit, but probably not the best thing for my posture to like fully lean over. I definitely need to get a better camera setup. I'm just filming on my phone. I thought, let's just go for it. I have washed my hair this morning, so I don't look that gross. Didn't put any makeup on, probably should have, but who cares? Yeah, I thought I'd just go for it. My boyfriend is away at the moment, so I don't have to feel really awkward and weird with him probably sat across from me just laughing at me. And my cat is asleep, so he's not going to annoy me either. So yeah, I thought I'd just go for it. I'll try and remember to look up every now and then. Okay, so let me just finish this row and then I will show some of my whips. Yeah, this pattern is actually really nice to work on because it has these like diamond sections, and so you bobble every right side row, and they provide really nice like stopping points. So like 10 rows and it reaches a point, 10 rows and it reaches a point. So it's actually really good to just like pick up and do a couple of rows on every now and then. This is the back, it's a cardigan. This is the back, and then I usually do, it's knit from bottom up. I usually do sleeves 2 at a time and the front pieces 2 at a time. Even though the front pieces aren't the same, they're mirror images, so I can kind of like just switch between the two as I go. So that's that. That's one thing that I'm working on. Well, the main thing that I'm working on, because I get paid to do that, so I should probably focus on it. And then let's show some cute baby things first. So as I said, pretty much everybody I know is having a baby. Which is great. I love making baby stuff, but it also means I just have to make so many baby things. I feel like I never know how many things to make for somebody. Like, is a little tiny pair, look how cute, a little tiny pair of socks enough? Like They're so cute. I'm also like super aware when I'm making things of how quickly babies grow, and like socks that are kind of stretchy would be really good. I guess they last like a couple of months. But then like a little jumper, you have to make it. Also don't know how big the babies are going to be when they're born. Like my friend just had a baby. It was 2 weeks early and it was 8 pounds. So I feel like that is already like 3-month territory now. I don't know. Anyway, I almost always make a pair of socks or booties. I don't really like the word booties. Socks for new babies. I was going a little bit out there with these because they are literally luminous green. But I love them, and I hope whoever I choose to give these to doesn't hit them. I'll choose carefully. And this is the everyday, no, what's it called? The perfect newborn sock? The perfect, I don't know. I'll find the name of the pattern and put it here. My memory is absolutely horrific. I should write things down before I start talking. But yeah, I'm making these. These are really cute. I feel like these are the first baby socks that I've made that are actually like socks. I'm also making some of the Pearl Soho. You're not going to be able to see what these actually look like because they're both on the needle at the moment, but I'm like Pearl Soho baby socks. Also don't know what that pattern's called. I'll put it up on the screen. And these are made like socks, but I feel like they'll just fall off. I always make them because they look really, really nice when they're off the needles and they're finished. They have such a nice shape to them, and they're just like really really nice sock shape. I don't know. But I feel like, I mean, I've never had a baby. I've never put socks on a baby, and I've never experienced what socks are like on babies, but they just seem like they're not that practical. These are also made in Pearl Soho's season alpaca, which absolutely is not a practical yarn for baby things. But I was thinking like socks aren't gonna get poo and sick on them. I don't know. Maybe they will. But there, I feel like a sock is a little bit easier to take special care of than say like a full garment. But anyway, these are actually made in a dedicated sock yarn. I don't know what it is because I lost the band, but it is actually a sock yarn, and with that I think it's got a little bit of plastic in it. But yeah, these socks I feel like are actual like practical sock type socks, and that's probably why they're called like whatever they're called, the perfect baby sock, something. I do feel like the foot looks really long. I mean, I think that of all socks, and you can roll this up as well, although I'm not sure like a fat little baby ankle is gonna fit in there. Maybe it will. Maybe I'll save these for someone who has a small baby. But yeah, I really like those. The only thing is, I get really bored making socks. I normally make them 2 at a time. I didn't with these, and these have literally been in my whips for like 6 months, I don't know, since the person announced that they were pregnant. So these actually take like longer than I want them to. Like these, I'm doing 2 different colours at once because I don't want to split the yarn. I don't want to try and figure out how much I need for each sock. So I'm doing a grey and a pink, and then I'll do another grey and a pink after. But I started these last night. It's 5 to 12 on Sunday, and I started them at like 8 p.m. yesterday. And this wasn't the only thing I worked on last night. So these work up really quickly because the yarn, I guess, is I don't know what the weight is. I'm not good at like knowing what weights things are because there's so many different names for things. I don't know. But you get 200 meters in 100 grams. So maybe that is the same as this. No, it's definitely not. I feel like it's like a DK. I don't know. Anyway, I'm using 3.5 mil for these and 2.5 mil for these. These are more enjoyable, less practical. These are probably way more practical, less enjoyable. So those are 2 baby things that I'm working on. Oh, crap, my back. And then this is so exciting. I've forgotten what this is called as well. I'm really sorry. Like, I've been looking at this pattern like for the past month and I still don't know what it's called. It's because Lydia something. I'm so bad. I'll put all of the information on the screen, but this, along with like 3 or 4 other patterns that they have, are all similar but not the same name. So it's like Tumble, Rumble, Raglan, Tumble Tee, Stumble Skirt, I think. So this, I think, is the Rumble Raglan, but I'm not sure. But oh my god, it's so cool. I love it so much. So this is a top-down Raglan. It's designed as a t-shirt, but I think if I have enough yarn, I'm going to make it long sleeve because I just don't wear short sleeve things ever. But it's also like, I can't remember how much negative ease, but a lot of negative ease. So it's super, super fitted, which I'm really excited about. I think just the style of this design is so cool. I'll put some pictures on screen. I just love it. And I also love the color work design. So I actually hadn't done color work in a while, so I'd forgotten my favorite way of working. So I just started, and I actually think the top bit isn't my neatest work, but the way that you do it is you have 3 colors, and I don't think you can really tell, it's so lumpy, but the neck is twisted rib, which I actually love. I feel like I very rarely see like a twisted rib anymore. It seemed like it was quite popular 7 or 8 years ago, but I actually really love it on this. And it's a folded collar, and you knit it live, knit the live stitches down as you go, which I really liked. I know some people don't like that, but I love when I finish something, I love not having to do anything else. So if I can secure the neckband while I go and don't have to think about it later, absolutely will do that. And then it has some short rush shaping, obviously to have the neck down there, and then you start the color work pattern, and it's in rounds of 14, I think. So it's like color A and color B you work, and then you keep color B and you switch to color C, excuse me, for 14, and then you keep colour C and you bring back in colour A. So like, and then I'm almost at the end of this repeat, so then I'll keep colour A and add in colour B again. So it makes like it's really clever, and it just looks really, really good. And look how much negative ease it has. I really hope it's going to fit me. I did a gauge swatch. I'm getting gauge, and I trust their sizing suggestions. I think, like, I'm plus size. This jumper is doing me no favors, but I'm between straight and plus sizes. So UK, I don't even know what ready to wear size I am anymore. But I'm usually like an L or an XL in knitting patterns. And for this, I think I was size 4 or 5. And the pattern suggested, well, heavily recommended going with your chest circumference. And I'm kind of comfortable doing that because I feel like my body is, well, the top half of my body is well proportioned. So I chose for my actual chest size, so hope that that's going to work. We'll see. If it doesn't, I might just cry because this is a lot of work. It's really, really fun though. So if you're into this kind of style, which I know is quite like bold and graphic, if you're into this style, oh my god, I literally just realized that it completely matches this this blanket. So obviously I do like this style of things because I made this as well. This is a Pearl Soho quilt pattern, which I did really wrong because I don't know if you can tell on this, but these brown lines are meant to all line up and they just don't line up, but I don't care. I think it looks cool. But yeah, this is exactly like that. Even the color reddy orange that I've chosen. Oh, how embarrassing. But anyway, I'm really excited about this, and I hope I finish it in the next month, but I highly doubt that, especially if I'm doing long sleeves. I think I've got like 20 rounds, maybe 30 rounds to go before I split. Sorry, I keep sitting forward. I need to figure out a better camera thing. But anyway, 30 rounds maybe before I split the sleeves. But anyway, this is super, super enjoyable. Oh, and for that, I should say the yarn that I'm using. One sec, let me just get the ball bands for these because I've forgotten. I'm drinking coffee from the world's tiniest coffee cup. And I made rice pudding for breakfast. I hate milk, so the thought of rice pudding is disgusting, but I made it with oat milk, which I don't mind, but it's not that, well, actually regular dairy milk makes me really ill, but it's also just like the white liquid that makes me really dislike milk. So milk alternatives don't help because they still look like milk, but the recipe sounded amazing, so I just went for it, and it's actually really delicious. And because of the end product, I didn't make it super gloopy, sloppy, so the milkness kind of disappears, which is nice. It's an Anna Jones recipe. Look at my little Mutant Ninja Turtles badge. I never even watched Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just really like this badge, so I don't know who this is. Who's the one with purple eye band? Anna Jones recipe. Sorry, this is a small insight into the inner workings of my very overactive brain. Anna Jones recipe, miso, caramelized banana, rice pudding. Magnificent. And it's in the Pot Pan Planet cookbook. That's what it's called. One pot, one pan, one planet, one something. Anyway, really good. And it has miso in it, which I really liked. Adds like a saltiness to it. And the caramel is super easy to make. You just put bananas, sugar in a pan. And nobody cares about that because they're here to listen to me talk about knitting, so I'll stop. Anyway, the yarn I'm using for this is Mondim by Retrosaria, which I'd never used before. I have to admit, working for a knitting company, I got a lot of free yarn. And most of my yarn stash is made up of yarn that I got for free. So not just Wool and the Gang yarn that they sell, but we would get sample yarns for testing and yarns that are left over from things, or like discontinued yarns. I have a lot of like very random and unusual things in my stash. So I think I probably haven't bought yarn in a very long time. So most of the yarn that is popular now, I've never tried. And I don't have much expendable income, so I'm probably not going to buy anything too fancy. Saying that, I just spent about £200 on stuff for a project, which I'll talk about. But yes, this yarn, Mondim, so it's called Mondim. I actually bought this because somebody I follow on Instagram, I think, was selling some of this, and I didn't get it from them, but I just loved the label. I am an absolute sucker for packaging and label design, and this label, and I think I need to have a look, but I think a lot of their labels are quite fun. I just realised I'm like fully leaning again. Let's sit a bit better. So yeah, Mondim, and this is 202, I think is the colour. And it's really lovely. I really like mixing primary colours with like more classical colours, like navy with a bright red is really nice to me. And like this brown and cream, which could be quite muted, I add this like really, sorry, coffee, really bright orangey red, and I think it just adds like a really nice dimension to it. So yeah, I really like this combination of red, blue, and then like the cream in it is slightly like bluey cream, I think, just because it's been spun and dyed with that blue. It's picked it up a little bit, but I really love that. And then so I bought this for the project. I think I got 5 balls of this. This is, again, I don't know. I very much appreciate people telling me what the different weight categories are. Like, I don't know what fingering, spot weight, DK, I just go off the yardage, the meterage within the weight of the ball, because I feel like between brands, some people call it something, some people call it another thing, so I just don't know. This is 385 meters for 100 grams. And this was used in the pattern, so not this colorway, but this yarn. Was it used? I might be making that up, but I feel like it was recommended or used in the pattern. So I got some balls of that, 3, 4, I don't know. And then I had this in my stash from when I went through a big sock knitting phase 4 or 5 years ago. This is West Yorkshire Spinners signature 4-ply. In a color 606, I guess. And this is 400 meters per 100 grams. So it's a little bit different, but I thought it was close enough that it would work. And actually, I do know for sure in the pattern they used one that was like similar to this, either this or similar to this, so like 385, and one that was 400. So I was like, okay, I know that it's fine if we do this then. Plus I didn't have to buy more yarn when I had so much of this. I have like 6 balls of this. I have no idea why. I was going to make a lot of socks apparently. But this is 75 wool, 25 nylon, and it's 35% Blueface Leicester, which is nice. And this, I didn't say, is... It doesn't say. Does it say? Non-superwash sock weight yarn, fine Portuguese wool. So I'm guessing it's 100% wool. Yeah, 100% Portuguese wool. Okay, nice. And then this, which is a mystery. I was planning a project that I never actually finished, because that's very on brand for me. I was going to make a zine, a fanzine to knitting labels, like old fashioned knitting labels, because I have a lot of old wool, old yarn, either from donated from people to me because they have wool and then they know that I like knitting, so they just give me it. And all of my grandma's friends, I think my grandma must talk about me a lot to her friends, but they all, like, whenever they clean out their attic, they just give me wool, which is really nice. And now my grandma has actually let me choose the things she gives me instead of just giving me a giant bag, which is even better because then I can actually pick stuff that I know I'll use. But this is yarn that came with, so I bought some yarn off eBay that I really liked the label of, and knew I would use the yarn, and then this came in the lot with it, and I got quite a lot. It's all over there, but I feel like I got like 600 grams of this, and absolutely love the colour. I feel like it's so weird. I feel like it might even be like hand dyed because it didn't come with any labels and it was all in little cakes, like 25 gram cakes. I think it's 25 grams. And it feels 100% wool. It's quite like, it's very natural feeling and it's a little bit scratchy. Whereas these two are not scratchy at all. Actually really soft. And I haven't used it for anything, and because there wasn't really enough to use it on its own, and I couldn't find anywhere something that was this colour. It's such a nice, bright, interesting colour. Actually it would go really... So I never used it. It just kind of sat in my stash. And then this project came along, and I thought I needed a third colour, and I tried a few different things. So I tried like a plain off-white, but the speckled this just disappeared next to it, so you didn't get that like nice line graphic. And I tried a pale blue, and it was just the same kind of thing happened. Like, this just disappeared next to it. So I was looking through my stash. I didn't want to buy anything else. And I saw this, and I was like, perfect. I've leaned again, but you just have to deal with it. So yeah, I have no idea what this is, no idea the yardage, no idea the colour, no idea the composition. It's a wild card, but it works perfectly. And actually this and this are really similar weights. I don't know if that's going to focus, but very, very similar. And then this is like, as you can tell from the yardage per 100 grams, but this is a little bit thicker. So, and I actually think this is the better weight for this project, because on the rounds where it's just this and this, it's a little bit, you know, when you use a yarn that's a little bit too thin for the needles, it's just not the nicest squishiness when it's just these two in a round. As soon as you get this into a round, either with this or with this, it's fine. But just these two on their own. Anyway, it's good. And I really like that bright orange, even though that bright orange colour isn't in this. Like, I don't know if you can tell, it's not in this, but for some reason it just feels like it works really well, which I'm glad of, because I could have used like a more traditional like reddy red, but I actually think this works really nicely. It does. Let's see. Don't judge my puckery colour work. I don't know if you can tell, but like in the last 3 or 4 rounds, I found my moja, and it's looking much less lumpy. You definitely can't tell. Well, I can tell looking at it here, but probably won't be able to tell there. And actually the mottled dye of this helps hide that. This is gonna be very offensive to many people, but I don't blog things. I just can't be bothered. But maybe this can be my first ever blocking, but then I'm really scared that the colours are just gonna all melt into each other, so I probably won't block it. Plus I feel like it's got negative ease, so when it stretches it'll be fine. And then I don't know why, but we just never blocked anything at Wool in the Gang. I mean, we didn't sell ready to wear or make to order at Wool in the Gang, we just sold kits. So the knitting I did was for test knitting and samples, photo shoots, but we just never really needed to blog. And also I just don't know why I would blog. I just always make sure I have gauge, and it's fine. I feel like I'm very lucky that like my natural knittingness is not too tight, not too loose, is like very mid, which really helps me get gauge in almost all projects. But like I said, I haven't actually knit for myself in a long time. Like I just knit for made to order pieces or test knits. What was I saying? Oh yeah, blocking. I just never block. I blocked a scarf once because it was stocking stitch and it was like curling at the edges. So I blocked it to keep it flat. That's it. Sorry. Maybe as I start to knit more pieces for myself, I'll start blocking more, but also maybe not. We'll see. So I don't know if you can see, I don't think you can, but this is what I'm working with here. Oh no, you can definitely see it. That was my like, I know I have to make baby things, let's get inspired. So yeah, we've got 2 pairs of socks, actually technically 3 pairs of socks. We've got the pink, the grey, the green, and then I'm just gonna do the Pearl Soho socks for all of the babies. So I think we've got 6 babies. And we know that, when I say we, it's not my baby. I know that there are 2 boys for sure, and 1 girl for sure, and then 1 person is too early to tell. 1 person, I don't know them well enough to like know when they know that it's a girl or a boy, so when I see them next they might know, but for now I don't know. And 1, they're waiting until it comes out and then they'll know. And I don't really like making like really pinky, unless the parents want that, but I don't like making really pinky or really bluey stuff for babies. Plus I don't really have that in my stash. I'm not a very pink person. But also aware that like this probably isn't what is wanted by most parents, so I would only ever really give this to like a really close friend who has like quite unusual style. And if nobody wants this, then I'll just keep it for cool babies. So most of the things I'm going to make are like this, which is like a very off white, well it's grey. Or like even this, I feel like it's not pink enough to be like girly. It's like a I don't know what it is, you can see it, this colour. And then I've got some, I think this is the Wool and the Gang cashmere. I think it's such a nice yarn. And that's like a sagey green, which I think would be really nice. And then I have this, which is the Superwash Merino Wool and the Gang, which is the same as what I'm using for this cardigan, which I don't really like, but it's useful for socks. And that's like a more of a browny colour, not like super dissimilar from that, but actually in real life it's much darker, but on camera I think it looks pretty similar. So I'll make a pair in this, if I can get a pair out of it. I'll wait. And then I've got some of this, which is Rico Soft Merino Essentials, and that is superwash, 100% virgin wool that is also superwash. Is that a thing? And that's just like a grey. That is in colour 20. Why do none of my colours have names? These ones definitely do. Like this is the Wool and the Gang blonde beige. Redundant. It's blonde or it's beige, right? And this pinky colour is, look, I was so organised here. Look, I got this yarn in 2018 when we went to New York, and I spent all of my life savings in Pearl Soho. Pink taupe, pink taupe. So it is pink, not brown. And then I say I'm organised. This I got at the same time. It's the same yarn, just a different colour, and I didn't even bother with that. Obviously my attention span only lasted long enough to do it on one. So that is also season alpaca in a grey colour. And then I also have, probably not gonna use this. Probably not gonna use this for baby socks. Maybe I will. I like it. I have a really nice red, which is a discontinued Wool and the Gang yarn that I absolutely loved, and I was really sad when they got rid of. It was called Sheepaca, I think. Sheepaca? I don't know. I mean, they discontinued it like 8 years ago, probably, so this is very precious. But I'm never going to use it because, look, this is all I've got. But I love it. It's, as the name suggests, a wool alpaca blend, and it's so soft, and even though it's like pretty chunky, they sold 200 gram balls of it, which was so good. I mean, I got this for free, but absolutely love this yarn, and I'm really sad that they don't do anymore. Let's start petition. No, let's not. So I might use that. I don't know. I could also do a cute hat in that. Maybe a red is better in a hat, but then I think big bright primary colours are cute on toddlers, but then on a newborn baby, is that a bit scary? I don't know. You'll have to be gentle with the newborn babies. No primary colours. And I also have this, which is the nicest yarn ever, and I think this is Wool and the Gang. Again, like I said, most of my yarn is free from Wool and the Gang. Sugar Baby Alpaca, which is so soft and so lovely. So that is actually super similar to the Pearl Soho. I threw it, so I can't reach it. In the weight and also the softness. So maybe I'll make another pair in that. That was my mad 10 p.m. last night. Baby inspiration. I also have this, which I don't actually know what this is. I think I got it for a knit that I was doing for another brand, and this is what was left after I finished that project, and they didn't want it back, so I kept it. But I don't know what it is. It's a little bit chunky though. I think it's too chunky to make those socks, those Pearl Soho socks. So I won't. And that's it. So yeah, I think I'll stop there because I have talked for a long time and no one's probably going to watch this, so why talk longer? Thanks for watching if you did watch. I don't have any acquisitions. That I know everybody uses that term, and that's fine, but acquisitions feels like very corporate language for buying yarn. We not just say like, here's stuff I bought? No? Oh, because then if you didn't actually buy it, I get it. Okay. Acquisitions it is. I don't have any acquisitions, but I do have stuff on the way for a project that I will talk about in the next episode, next video, because it's really fun and I'm super excited, and I'm probably going to disregard all of this stuff. No babies are ever going to get things from me because this thing that's coming is too fun. So yeah, I'll talk about that next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.